I kept the engagement ring and gave up asking to propose in front of my parents and in-laws. I'd been planning this proposal for 3 months. My girlfriend Lisa and I had been together for 4 years, and I knew she was the one. I wanted to make it special, so I decided to propose at her family's annual barbecue where both our families would be together. I bought the perfect ring, a simple diamond that cost me 2 months of overtime pay. I practiced my speech in the mirror every morning before work. I even asked her dad for permission, and he gave me this huge smile and said he'd been waiting for me to ask. The plan was perfect. During dessert, I'd get everyone's attention, drop to one knee, and ask Lisa to marry me in front of everyone who loved us. Her mom was already crying just thinking about it when I told her the plan. The day of the barbecue, I had the ring box in my pocket and my hands were shaking. Everything was going great until my dad had a few too many beers. He started telling stories about his bachelor days and how smart men stay single as long as possible. Then my mom chimed in with helpful comments like, marriage is just expensive paperwork and why ruin a good thing? Lisa's face was getting redder by the minute, but I figured they'd stop once I actually proposed. Things got worse when Lisa's uncle started talking about his messy divorce and how his ex-wife took half his stuff. My dad laughed and said, see, that's what I'm talking about. Lisa's mom tried to change the subject, but then my mom started listing all the couples they knew who got divorced. I could see Lisa getting more and more upset. She kept looking at me like she wanted to leave. Her sister whispered something to her and Lisa just shook her head and walked inside. I followed her into the kitchen where she was doing dishes even though they weren't dirty. I asked if she was okay and she turned around with tears in her eyes. Do you see what just happened out there? She said. Your parents basically spent an hour explaining why marriage is terrible while my family sat there awkwardly. This is supposed to be about us, but somehow it turned into a debate about whether love even exists. That's when I realized my perfect family proposal plan was actually a disaster waiting to happen. All the pressure, all the opinions, all the drama, none of that was about us. I pulled the ring box out of my pocket right there in her parents' kitchen. Lisa's eyes went wide and she covered her mouth with soapy hands. Lisa, I said, getting down on one knee next to the dishwasher, forget about all those people out there. Forget about their opinions and their stories and their drama. I love you and I want to spend my life making you happy. Will you marry me? She started crying and laughing at the same time. Are you seriously proposing to me while I'm doing dishes in my mom's kitchen? I'm proposing to you because I realize that what we have doesn't need an audience or approval from anyone else. Just you and me. She said yes, and we kissed right there surrounded by dirty plates and leftover potato salad. It was perfect in the most imperfect way. When we walked back outside with her ring sparkling in the sun, both families went crazy. My dad actually teared up and said, now that's how you do it, son. My mom hugged Lisa and apologized for being negative. The best part was Lisa's grandma, who pulled me aside later and said, smart boy proposing in the kitchen. That's where all the real conversations happen anyway. We got married 8 months later, and instead of a big fancy wedding, we had a small ceremony in her parents' backyard. Same place where I almost made the biggest mistake of my life by caring more about other people's opinions than what actually mattered. The kitchen proposal became family legend, and now everyone tells the story about how I saved the day by keeping it simple.